Good afternoon to all of you that have tuned in today. And I really appreciate your interest in this program. We typically focus on disabilities, a lot of issues surrounding the blind and seniors. Today, I am so pleased to present a gentleman who has he's the CEO of his own traveling company, and I would like George, could you
I didn't think you were ever going to ask.
tell everyone how they can...
That I can do.
Thank you.
If you would like to call in today, you can give us a call at area code 702-605-0498 or simply Skype us at All Talk Radio, one word. Back to you, May.
Thank you very much, George. And if any of you have any questions on travel for the disabled, would you please call and or Skype in, and we will certainly address that. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Jeremy. And could you, Jeremy,
Yes.
give me an overall concept of your travel
Website?
your travel company?
Okay. Well, the name is Travel Livery. And so the concept of the actual main website is to allow people to connect with one another that enjoy traveling. So people are really accustomed to things like Facebook and other social networks where they can connect with people, have friends and all that. Similar concept, but more of a niche in which, let's say you want to travel to the beach. And most of your friends don't like the beach, but you do. So does that mean that you don't go to the beach because you have no one to go with? Well, I created the travellivery.com site to allow people to connect with people that enjoy those sorts of things too. So you might not know them, but you know that they like going to the beach, or maybe they want to go to France, or they like cruises or whatever. So it allows you to connect to that person, and you might even be able to just meet them at that place. You don't have to meet them first and become friends with them and then go. You could say, hey, you like going to the beach? We've met through this website. I do too. So you meet there and then go do that.
I noticed it was brought to my attention outside that you were wearing a baseball hat.
I am wearing a baseball hat, yes.
What if somebody wanted to go see the Dodgers?
Sure.
Yeah.
If the sports are their if the sports are their thing,
Sport is my thing, and I love the Dodgers,
Yeah.
and I would love to go.
yeah. If you were on the site and there were other people that enjoyed that as well, and that even adds a little thing to maybe some questions I might add to the site of if they enjoy sports teams, because you could then meet people that like those sports teams, and then you meet at the actual Dodger Stadium this person, and then you go watch the game or enjoy it that way.
And what about the travel in terms of getting there?
Well, I also put on the site questions about what type of way do they like to get places. I know I have friends that, don't like flying. I have even a friend that doesn't even like elevators. So some people like flying, some people don't. They don't like driving, or they like buses or mass transit, boats. So there is a question on there that says, what way do they prefer to travel? They can choose all of them if they want, or if they only like specific ways, they can choose those in the question. So basically, the questions are set up so your profile already has those answers. So if somebody goes to your profile, it already says that type of information.
Is your site ADA compatible?
That's a good question.
Meaning, if someone that's blind would like to get on your site and read it, would they be able to?
That is a very good question.
Yeah,
huh?
that's a great question. I do not believe that it is, meaning that I would assume that the things would need to be read to you, correct? Is that how that would work?
Through like a JAWS or window eyes. I'm guessing that's what you're saying, right, May? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You should have actually somebody. We've got somebody here that has his own computer. I should have him go on your site,
Okay.
and see how blind friendly it is.
That would be great. Yeah. Then I could know if that's
Right.
if I need to add something like that to the site.
Sure.
Yeah, great. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, May.
Yes, because there are a lot of awful lot of blind people across the United States
Right.
that I think could benefit from what you have to offer.
Right. And it would be great to be able to find people that were blind as well, if that's who you wish to travel with as well. Yeah.
In terms of your, have you? Are you from? Do you? Excuse me.
No worries. No worries.
I'd like to know what kinds of individuals with disabilities have traveled using your.
Well, that I don't know yet because it's a relatively new site, so I don't know how many have used it for that. That's just a bit of an offshoot, not an offshoot. That's what the main site is, but some offshoots of the site are news-related sites, so people would be able to know what's going on in the cities that they wish to travel. Like for Las Vegas, if they've never been here before, or even if they have, they might want to know what's going on, what has happened. They might want to know what the top 10 shows are, what to see, what to do, that kind of stuff is. And so there are separate news sites specifically for that.
You know, and that's totally cool. That the idea, or what she had just said to you, and that may be something you might want to probably look into, like
Sure.
maybe a little section for people with disabilities,
Sure.
that they could actually, because that's something I don't believe anybody else is truly doing.
That's true. I agree.
A lot of people would simply dismiss it.
Yeah. And I want to be welcoming to everybody.
So, could you tell people how they can access your site again?
Well, there's two different ways. The main site is travellivery.com. It is TRAVELIVERY.com. But if you wanted to go to the specific city news sites, then you would go to, let's say, if it was for Las Vegas, then you would type into the browser Vegas. So VEGAS .travellivery.com. Maybe it was Los Angeles, so you would just type LA.travellivery.com. San Francisco, same way, SF. Orlando, be Orlando. So those are the four cities right now that I'm focusing attention on. They're pretty good travel places, you know. Maybe the next ones will be like New York or Chicago. Or
Were you ever
places.
going to cover Shikshinny, Pennsylvania?
I was thinking of that.
Just in case, I'd like to know what's going on there right now, all for the people that live there.
And would you tell everybody the name of the town again?
Shikshinny.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Yeah, well, it's in Pennsylvania. It's just a town. See, yeah, it could be considered that too.
You did leave there, right?
Yeah.
George, would you be interested in using such a service?
Yeah, because stuff like this, you don't even have to exactly be traveling. I mean, it's like you said, it's also a news site. So you can just go get there, get information. You can learn different things about different cities. You know, maybe something in Orlando, Florida, I don't even know about. You know, or just to be knowledgeable to someone that come up and say to you, okay, well, this one, well, yeah, I know what's going on down there. Well, how'd you get your information? I simply went to this site. There's a lot of information about that town and what it's doing at that point in time. Check it out.
That was good.
Thank you.
You must have done this before, George.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay, so for my edification, again, now, I would like to go from Vegas to Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
Okay. Could you walk me through how I would get there?
Well, we don't provide the the means for you to get there.
Okay.
Mostly what we are providing in the two different types of the site are a way for you to connect to people, so you can meet people. And then the other functionality is for you to know what's going on in those places. So, in
Right.
order, if you wanted to go from here to Dodger Stadium, the way you'd get there would be on your own means. But it would be nice for you to probably know that at the end of the journey, there was somebody waiting there to see you.
Or something I think you may have forgotten.
Or possibly
They could be in
someone
Vegas,
from
too.
Vegas
Right.
that would.
Yeah, that's true.
And say,
And
look,
then we could
I
go
want somebody a
together.
riding buddy.
That's right.
Yes.
You could have that as well.
Absolutely.
So it's not necessarily that, we're going to provide a transportation for you, but you'll meet somebody that has the ability to do that for you.
That
site, huh?
is, yes, I think so.
Thank you.
Especially if it's ADA compliant.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going to look at that. We'll have that checked out.
How long has it been in existence?
The main travel delivery site I just launched recently, so that's only a couple of weeks old. But the other ones have been up for a couple of months. All of them, all the concepts of the sites are things that I've done already in the past with other websites. So this is a brand new concept using the knowledge that I already have in that field.
Tell me something.
Yes.
What got you interested in this? Do I call it a new sect?
I would, yeah, you could, because the approach I'm taking isn't really done. Like I said, there is something like Facebook, but it's a big mishmash of a lot of things.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, so if you were trying to find something specific, like somebody to travel with, it's not niche enough. It's like Walmart. And so what I'm doing is like selling a widget that you might find at Walmart. So that concept I've had for a bit, because I had another, like imagine travel delivery is a social network. So I've had social network before it's still actually out there. It's called LasVegasNightLifeNetwork.com, and that was built for people that liked Las Vegas nightlife and wanted to find what was going on in the Las Vegas nightlife industry, and also people that enjoy doing that sort of thing. And so this is kind of a spin-off of that, but going more broad and not just being so niche as being Las Vegas nightlife, where it is traveling anywhere. It could be the Bahamas, it could be to Dodger Stadium, it could be to New York, it could be a lot of different places. And then, you asked what got me interested. I've been writing blog style things for quite a while about Las Vegas specifically. So that's my kind of background with that. I still have my website called JeremyWomack.com, but I've moved away from what I was doing on that site, and now I've pushed it over to this site. So that's my background on that, and what's really got me interested. I'm a photographer. So how I even originally got into it is I would take pictures out at nightclubs, and I wanted a place to put the pictures. So that's why I launched JeremyWomack.com, and I would have pictures there, and then I would tell everyone, hey, if you want to see your pictures, go to JeremyWomack.com. And that kind of got me a little bit of a name in Las Vegas because of that. And so everything that I've done since then has basically one-upped everything else. I've had radio shows before, before I came to All Talk for the second time, but all of what I'm doing is you have a good foundation, and then you kind of build upon it and do greater things. And I hope I continue to do greater things and not necessarily just not go backward, I guess, if you will. So that's my background on where I started.
Okay, so how do you actually? Do you make income doing that?
Well, everything I have is advertising based.
Right.
So
Okay, sure.
yeah. So there are ads there. If people like to, if they see something on the sidebar of the website, they go, "Oh, I like that." So they click on it. I have the ability to earn income off of that, or if they buy tickets through the site, I can earn money that way. So there's multiple ways that I've set up that I can make money from the website. I've always been a big proponent of just being an informational type website and allowing people, giving them the free information and then making the money via advertising. I think it's better for the end user. If Facebook works the same way, that's how they make their money. Yeah, everything's free on Facebook, but if they have ads on the side, so that's how they make their money.
I see.
Yeah, I think it's the best. I mean, it's really no different than having the radio show, and then having advertisers, have ad spots on your radio show, and that's a way that you can make money as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally cool concept, huh?
It is. It's wonderful. I think so.
I mean, and think about it this way: if you're out there and now you've got your set friends, and like you said, maybe they're busy or they're unable to do something. Now you're meeting new people at the same time. Mm-hmm. People that you, like you said, that may live in Vegas that you've never even met before, but now through this site you've met and found out you have something in common. Mm-hmm. You've went to this destination, you had a good time, more than likely, and now you found a new friend also.
Sounds wonderful.
Right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It does. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or any questions you'd like to ask?
Well, you did bring up some good points about ADA compliance. It's not that I didn't consider it, but it's only been up a couple of weeks as well. So but you bringing it up early in the conversation is going to be helpful to make sure that it's available for people everywhere to use.
I'm just wondering, is there
FYI?
Yeah.
Every site has to be ADA accommodated.
It does?
Nobody escapes it. That's right.
I guess Old Talk is, from what I heard.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Done by accident, but it's okay. It works.
That's all.
Well, you have audio, so
right. Yeah. So we're. But I guess what I was going to say is, I mean, and I'm not throwing anything else at you there extra, but what if there's a place on the site that you could put down that people that could maybe let them know if they're interested in leaving that area, if there's someone that lives in that area that they could take with them. I don't know if something like that's an idea or something that's even feasible. But
I could put some sort of a question on there that says, "Are you the type of person that likes to drive? You prefer to be a passenger,
right,
or both?" You
right.
know, that could answer that question.
And maybe they could hook up that way and say, "Hey, look, I'm going to be going that way. You're going to be going that way. I'd rather be a passenger, and you would rather drive.
Sure.
And I don't want to do this alone anyhow. So
right. And they can answer the question without needing to be specific, like
right.
saying I can't drive because of this reason. It's just I prefer to be a passenger.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or and obviously I'm sure you've got the disclaimers on there in case for whatever reason.
In case we curse on the air.
Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So you say, hey, do everything at your own risk. That's what the world's about.
Basically, there's some rules that I put on there. It's it basically the rules, and they're easy to find on the site. That they kind of say this is a site that allows people to meet one another. It's not necessarily a dating site. If you find love on the site, fantastic. But
you're not responsible in either way for that.
Don't harass people. Because
I'm looking to go do things.
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But if there are plenty of people that want to make sure that they're not harassed when they're on the site. So there is a rule that says that. And basically, because I own the site, if that occurs, and let's say May is a member on it, and she writes me and says, "Hey, this guy George Carson, he's just blowing me up."
And I would do that because I'm weird like that.
He wants me to be his mistress or something.
Right.
Then he's. What?
Wow! Look at that look.
I got.
Well, I can't be a mistress. I don't wear dresses.
Exactly. That's the point I was making. But if May was saying that, then I could go ahead and delete you.
You could take me off the site.
Exactly. Because
of harassment.
Yeah, you were being rude and doing things that May was not interested in having.
Right.
So there's rules on there to protect all the members.
But once again, this is the real world, and we all do live in it. So, whatever rules are there,
people will break them. But that's why I've put in there. It says if you break the rules,
you're done.
You can be deleted.
Taken off.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to make sure that was.
What are the rules?
Oh, I don't have them in front of me. If George would like to pull them up, he's more than welcome.
Yeah, I'd like
to know
what they are.
Look how nice I can be. Watch this.
Yeah, he's got this newfangled thing over there.
Let's set you right up on your own little thingy there.
Oh, well, I can do it myself.
Yeah, that's okay. That way, because you can move it around and see what you need. I just got to take this and that so I can get you in there. There you go.
Cool.
Now that way you can kind of move it around as you need to look and talk about.
Well, while I'm doing this, you can. I need to be on the actual web, as opposed to Facebook. Oh,
that actually is the web. All you do is type that in. That's a URL there.
Okay, got it. So you might want to ask me questions while I'm doing this so we don't have dead air.
We're not going to have dead air. Gee.
So with this site now, you said only been a couple weeks that it's been opened, pretty much. So it's still
the main
infancy,
one, right? The news sites have been up there with the ability to see all the news of different cities and stuff.
Right.
I don't have drop down boxes. I don't know why.
No drop down boxes on that.
Yeah, under membership. See if there's a drop down box that works.
No, there's no drop down box.
Well, we're figuring that out.
You know, baseball season's coming up.
Yeah? You excited?
I am. I love baseball.
Yeah?
I do.
Have you always loved it?
Try it on the computer side of it.
Always. Always. And I would love to see the Dodgers play your team.
Well, it's not, and people will ask me about that. Now, I will say this. I like all sports. I wear this hat, but it's a hat.
Well, right now it's the one that you're wearing.
It is the one that I'm wearing, but it's not like I go I'm die hard. So
Right.
Because people will say, "Oh, why are you wearing a Yankees hat?" They'll or they might say, "I have a Dallas Cowboys one. Why are you wearing that?" And I tell people
Wearing it because you like it.
I like it. I like the colors. I like the
Right.
way that it looks. And I tell people, I said, if you would like me to wear your hat,
Buy it.
buy it for me, and I will wear it.
You know, I wear a lot of hats, and they have a lot of sports teams and stuff. I've just found.
Now, I will do the same thing.
I'm not a sports fan.
If any of you are out there, because any of you that are familiar with my program know I wear a hat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if any of you wish for me to wear your hat, please send it.
Send it in.
I'm going to get you an All Talk hat.
I'll wear it. Do so.
I will. I got to order some new hats, and I'll get you an All Talk hat.
Thank you.
My dog chewed my last one, so I have to get some new hats in.
Yeah, that was a sad state.
Yeah.
Not-
Poor dog.
Yeah,
I miss him already.
it's not working here, buddy.
It's not?
No.
And that's on the computer part.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the browser doesn't allow drop-down boxes or what.
It should. That's the computer part of it. So
Excuse me, boys. Gentlemen,
You're
Yes.
talking too much, George.
Yeah, I know, like usual.
it is time to take a break.
You think so?
It's
Well, her phone told her so.
We're right on the nose, though. See? It's just the 00. See? I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
I do trust you.
I don't know why, because I don't know what I'm doing.
I still trust you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for viewing the show today. And we will be back in just a few minutes. Please stay with us.
If the world of science, electronics, radio, computers, and technology interests you, maybe you'd be interested in one of the largest technical clubs in the world, the American Radio Relay League. The ARRL is comprised of technically minded people from all over the world. And one thing they all have in common is they are all hams. We all come from different walks of life and we all exchange ideas on a regular basis. To find out more, log on to helloradio.org and join the club. Now you can discover the mysteries of ham radio. Using modern transceivers, you can make friends all over the world. Even talk to astronauts in space, ships on the high seas, and flying aircraft thousands of miles away. Unlike phone users, ham radio operators talk absolutely free and provide vital communications during disasters or emergencies. To find out more about ham radio, visit us at arrl.org. And remember, unlike the internet, we crisscross the entire globe wirelessly.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Mission success depends on having the right people. America's brightest and finest make up the men and women of the United States Air Force. They stand the line to protect and ensure America's freedoms each and every day, and they've been doing it for 60 years with vigilance that never stops and never wavers. Our United States Air Force turns a proud 60 this year, and the Air Force Association would like to thank those patriotic airmen who have sacrificed so much to keep us safe. AFA.org. We support those who protect us.
When tornadoes raked the South, it was ham radio that was on the air, saving lives. As communities lay in ruins, it was the hams who let their families know their loved ones were safe. When the power and cell phones went out, the hams were there, helping rescuers get the message through. Wherever catastrophes strike, amateur radio is ready. Amateur radio works when other communications don't. Contact the ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio, on the web at emergencyradio.org. That's emergencyradio.org.
Would it be crazy if you just stopped everything, packed your bags and left for a week, a month, a year? What if you left for 2 years? Would people think you'd lost your mind? What if you were going far away to help in a village on the edge of the Gobi Desert? A village crowded with Buddhist temples, not skyscrapers. A place where there isn't a word for recluse, but 1,000 words for community. Would it be crazy to go 5,000 miles from home? To spend time with people the rest of the world only reads about? To build libraries and fill them with stories? Prepare a meal with food you helped grow? To teach children and learn a thing or two about yourself? Would that be crazy? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 1-800-424-8580
What if you didn't
or
care
visit
about being on fast
peacecorps.gov.
track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track, to volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being, like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
Okay, thank you. And I want to thank all of you for listening to the second half of our program. I was asking earlier about what your rules are.
Yes.
Could you perhaps enlighten me as,
Sure,
to,
sure,
as
sure.
to what those are?
For Travel Liberty, the site.
Travel livery. Yeah.
Travel Livery. What do I call it? Livery? Liberty?
Liberty or something
Well, it could
like
be that. If
It could be.
you're in a free country. So.
Sure. So the objective of the site, and you see the tagline if you go to the travellivery.com website, is redefining the way you travel. So basically, that's what it is whatever your idea of traveling was before, we want to change that. So the rules are as such. Travel Livery is a free site. Posting your photos, interacting with others, maintaining your profile, etc., will always be free of fees. Number 2, the moderator, moi, or whoever I hire to do that, reserves the right. So what does that mean? The moderators of the site have the right to add and or remove any photo from the site they find to be offensive to other members. If you think it will be offensive, then it probably is, so don't post it, as it probably won't go up on the site anyway. If you're found continuing to post these types of images to the site, your profile will be banned from the network. There are plenty of other websites where one can find all the offensive photos they want. They just won't find them here. Thank you. Number 3. Travel Livery is not intended to be a dating website. The website's objective is to help others, help those looking for others who'd like to travel to the same places they like and or do the same activities they enjoy. If love is found through the site, that's great, but harassing other members only for a date will get your profile banned from the network. Friends first is our motto. The law. That's number 4. Observe all copyright laws, terms of services, and NDAs when posting copyrighted material. If the material belongs to someone else, credit the original author. And then number 5 is the most important one. It's have fun, but remember, breaking any of the above listed rules can result in the loss of privileges and possible loss of your account. TravelLivery.com also reserves the right to ban any user at any time for any reason. TravelLivery.com takes no responsibility for the content of any of the messages posted on the website or the authenticity of its authors. All opinions and views expressed on TravelLivery.com are solely those of their respective authors and not necessarily those of TravelLivery.com or its
There's your
representatives.
disclaimer.
There's my
You
disclaimer.
know, I got a question to ask you. I was kind
Sure.
of curious about when you're talking about this. Now you have sites like you said, Orlando, Florida,
Right.
Vegas, San Francisco. Now, but it's also a site where people can meet and become friends.
Right.
So through this site, not only maybe some of the ones you haven't listed, maybe these people may become friends and decide they want to go to Mount Rushmore together.
That's true. That's true.
So-
They can go anywhere. It's not like they can only go to the ones that are
Right.
listed.
So
yeah.
it's a dual-sided site for you, kind of in a way.
Sure. It is.
So, for example, if I
Right.
wanted to go see the Dodgers, I could
Uh-huh.
put my photo up there and say that that I'm looking for a companion or companions to.
Well, you don't even have to go to that extent because
okay.
there's going to be a listing of questions, which one of them I'm going to add is, and it's part of your input about the actual how would they like to drive somewhere,
Right.
But also I'm going to put something in there, and they can write whatever they want, what their favorite sports team is,
Okay.
and
Cool.
and that
Great.
way everything's listed, so somebody can go to. If you've filled it all out, they'll go to your profile and they'll say, "Oh, look, May likes to, be a passenger, and she loves to stay in high-end hotels, and she loves the Los Angeles Dodgers," and all these different questions. So they'll see that, and then they will contact you that way. And it's set up so that if they are reading those answers, if they don't like one of them that you say, let's say they like to stay in hostels, or a cheap hotel. If you say all you'd like to stay in is fancy hotels, they'll go, well, she's not my fit because she likes fancy hotels and I like more low key, So that's why the questions are set up that way, is so you can really read it really quickly and go, I like that type of person, or that person's not compatible for me. You don't have to find that out by asking them all these different questions. It's already been asked for you. And by the way, they are required questions. And I think sometimes that can be a little bit, and people might not want to fill it out because they are required, but they're required for a reason, and they're required so the other members are able to find out this information.
It should be helpful to everybody there.
Exactly. It not only helps you find somebody else, but it helps
them
those
find you. Right.
Exactly.
Would you be able to...
You want a profile created, don't you?
I do.
I knew it. I could just tell. See, I'm a mind reader.
George is a whiz at that stuff, I hear.
I'm very good at mind reading.
And profile
and
building.
profiling, yes.
Well,
I work for the NSA, yes.
Sure you do.
well, it's just that you know me very well.
May, can we have you move over just a little bit towards Jeremy there? We're going to get you back in the scene here. Here
There
we
you
go.
And we'll turn this towards you.
There you go. A little
Perfect.
better.
Right
There we go.
in front of you.
Cool.
There.
Thank you. I
Yep.
didn't know I was offline.
That's why I'm here. Let you know.
Okay, great. Can that be done?
Can George? Are you able to build her a profile?
So, So
Yeah, sure.
build a profile.
Sure. You know what? We could probably do it before we leave. It'll be really easy. We'll ask you the questions, okay, and we'll put up maybe the picture that we've shot here.
Okay.
And I'll talk, and it'll take us like 5 minutes, if that, to just build.
And
it.
I'll watch him do it.
Yeah, and he'll just give me his little,
my
fancy dancy computer, and we'll get it done for you. Do you have her picture on there?
As a matter of fact, I believe I do.
Okay, cool.
But I think it's with the all talk in the background, but it really
Is that
won't
okay,
matter.
May?
Is that
that
okay
has
with you?
all talk in the background?
Yes.
Your picture?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All right.
Then
Since I work here.
right.
Sure. This is true.
So then we'll have your profile up before we leave the studio.
And now with this, did you actually put personal information on there? I mean, can you put like phone numbers and email addresses?
No,
or
because I think the best way to have contact is actually through the site. And the reason for that is it allows the privacy. So if you're messaging someone and you choose to give that information, you can.
Right.
But originally, no, because maybe someone doesn't want to, you can these days block people from calling you and texting you. But,
Yes, you can.
But it's still, if you don't do that,
so
it can be
we'll have to
annoying.
figure out a way that she can check this then.
Right. And it would be all via email.
Yeah.
So that's
You don't have an email, do you, May? Email address?
I thought you were going to make one for me.
Yeah.
Did you
we'd
drop
have
the
to-
ball there, buddy?
I wouldn't know what information to put on it yet, so we'd have to sit down and do it all in one shot, probably.
But do you have an actual email address?
I don't think you have an email address, do you?
I do not.
No, so she doesn't have an email
Are you on
address to use.
Facebook?
I don't think she has a Facebook page
No?
either.
Okay.
We'll help you get there.
Yeah. We'll help you out.
Thank you, guys. I
Sure.
appreciate that.
Sure. That's what we're here for.
That and a place to find a way to travel with friends.
That's right.
Or people you have not met that could be potential friends.
Right.
They will become friends
Yes.
through the site.
Right.
Yep.
Aw. I'm going to get to see the Dodgers.
We hope so.
Yeah. No guarantees, but if they are there and they find you, you will be on your way.
Right.
That'd be wonderful. I've been promised so many times.
Really?
Oh,
So you
absolutely.
haven't gone and seen them yet?
Nope.
Wow.
Jane Goodall was going to take me, but she also wanted to get involved, and I did not.
Oh.
So that happens.
That happens,
And see, and like you said on the site there, though, that would kind of block something like that.
Sure.
So
That's the-
now May would be there, and she'd be like, "Hey, I want to see the Dodgers," and they want to see the Dodgers too. But now all of a sudden they've become more aggressive or towards dating her than she would like.
Sure.
And there would be a way to say, "Hey, look, this is going on. I don't like this. This is not what I want
Sure.
You know.
And then people would be able to contact the moderator to say, hey, this is what's going on. Of course, there one would want some sort of a proof that says, okay, show us what's going on.
Two sides to every story.
Exactly. So,
Oh, and to any of you that are listening that actually like Jane Goodall, I apologize. But there certainly are reasons why I do not wish to have anything to do with her.
Right.
Period.
That's understandable. Good thing she's not on the site because he would have had to boot her.
that's right. Because she would probably try to find out how to get a hold of you.
She had done that many times.
But you will have a profile up there now, and and which will be cool for you, and maybe it may not be the Dodgers, but you may find someone that'll contact you and some of your likes and say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to go do. Would you like to come along with me? Or they may be coming from another state to here and say,
Sure.
while I'm there, maybe I pick you up and we'll go do something here. You can show me the town.
Right.
That would be great. That would be fun.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you'd like to do here in Vegas?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
All right.
I like to go swimming in the desert.
Do you?
It's one of my favorite things.
Make sand angels?
Yeah.
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 You're such a bad boy.
Naughty George.
I'm telling you.
I love going to shows.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
My all-time favorite is Helen Reddy, but my understanding is she no longer graces Vegas, and that's unfortunate.
It is.
Because I credit her for saving my life,
Oh, okay.
and I would
In what way? Maybe a song she put out?
no. Well,
No?
yeah.
Okay.
It's I don't make any secret of this, that my husband tried to kill me with his bare hands.
Right.
I went to a woman's shelter, and when I was considering going back to him, Helen Reddy was singing "Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady," and that cemented it for me. I was not going back.
Good.
I was touched by a song one time like that.
Well, I tell you, and that did, in my opinion, save my life. And I would like to publicly thank her.
Cool. Totally cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a song one time that touched me like that one time. I was at my house and my dad was there and I was playing a song, pop music I liked a lot by the group M back in '78, and I played it over and over again. And my dad actually took it out of there and busted it over my head. So
That's how it changed your life?
and it touched me in the wrong way, but it touched me.
I have a similar story.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Well, my, when I was about 12, that's when Two Live Crew had their album Nasty
Too
as They Want to
nasty
Be.
as you want to be, yeah.
And at that time, there were no parental advisory stickers.
I remember those days.
Yeah. And so I was able to go in and purchase that and then band in the USA. So I'm listening to this and I'm getting a kick out of it. And this is my first introduction to anything nasty as far as.
Okay.
Right.
And so I'm listening to it. And this is how unintelligent you are as a child. Okay. So they had this bit on the it was a tape obviously on it that it was called Men on Film. So it was kind of like a parody of
Girls on Film by Duran Duran.
No, it was like Living Color.
Okay.
So
All
when
right.
they did, two snap ups and Z formation type of thing. Okay. So, but it was kind of raunchy, but it was still funny. And so
Right.
he had watched Living Color with me sometimes, so he knew it. But right after that, I don't know how, can we say graphic words on your show?
No.
Okay. So it was
Well, tell me.
okay.
Okay, I'll mute both your mics here real quick and I'll hum. Two live crew, two live crew, two live crew, two live crew. There we go. Oh, they got to say it again. Okay, here we go. We're just checking to see if this word or this part can be. Okay, we're going to bring her back in.
Yeah.
Now. There you
I'll
go.
change the
Yeah,
words.
just change the
We
word.
got
That's
you.
all.
So right after that little segment of that piece was over, because it had it was like an interlude kind of.
Right.
The very next lines were face down, beep up. That's the way we
Booty
like
up.
to beep.
Right.
and he heard it. and it was a Walkman, okay? And
Wow.
And
You
so
were
he had,
blasting
he
it.
had headphones on, and I didn't hear that he heard that part. And so I thought he had just heard the one part about the living color. And then he looked at me like, what did I just hear? And I'm like, what? What? He's like, I just heard them say face down. And I'm
Right.
like, and my mouth dropped, and he opened up the Walkman, took the tape out,
And pulled it, didn't
he threw it out the window as we were driving down the freeway,
really?
going 65 miles an hour.
Wow.
And that was my experience.
And that's so funny because back then they actually put advisories on. Like you said, after that was one of the reasons they actually started putting advisories on
because
these.
kids could buy them.
But it's so funny nowadays. Those advisories are like magnets to the kids.
Of course,
they're
now
picking
they're
them
like-
up like left and right. That's what they want.
They want the ones that say that stuff.
Yeah, and readily getting it. I mean, most of the stuff you hear on the radio nowadays back then would be totally banned.
Right. Right. So that's my story.
So there's yours.
Since George had one where I'm sure it was the actual record that got beat over his mine was a tape for the kids out there watching. They wouldn't know.
Cassette tape.
You've seen those pictures, those little memes out there that show a picture of a cassette tape and a picture of a pencil, and you go, most people don't know what these have in common.
Yeah.
You use the pencil to rewind.
Twist it up, yeah.
So that's my story. It kind of changed my life a little bit.
Wow. That's why he started Travel Liberty.
Travel livery. Okay.
Why do I keep calling it
I
Liberty?
don't know. You want to put a T in there for some
Yeah,
reason.
I don't know why. Maybe because I'm thinking of justice for all.
It could
I
be.
really don't know, but that's probably why. Because you were riding down the road and it hit the road, thrown out the door or out the window when you were, So maybe
And I wished at that point I would have had a companion
to go back and
with
pick
me
it up.
to go back and pick it up, or at least tell my dad not to do that.
Right.
It would have been my helpful. like,
Exactly
okay,
right.
you have two people against one now.
I wonder if there's any way we can get a hold of Helen Reddy, see if she wouldn't mind being a guest.
There's always ways of contacting people. It's no guarantee that they will show up or
I
call in.
No, I understand that.
Right. I mean, that just takes a little bit of footwork on the internet. And,
Yes. Now, how much time do we have left, George?
we are actually coming down last minute right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to thank you for joining us today on the Right Way with May program. And thank you to my guests.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to be here, May.
I appreciate you being here.
Not a problem.
George,
Yes.
as always, thank you.
And thank you, May.
And I appreciate what you do for me from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate you being with us.
And to all of my fans, I'd like to say, you have a blessed week, and goodbye, my friends.